Sorry, y'all. I'm not sure if y'all can hear me. And I don't know why the background just went away, but I'm not going to mess with it. I think it's just going to be me tonight. Tia, unfortunately, is fighting a migraine and also getting sick, so she is taking it easy tonight. And we've both had a pretty crazy last 24 hours, so I didn't have much time to prepare because yesterday we dealt with something, a personal matter was dealt to us yesterday that has unfortunately thrown, well, at least Tia was helping me with the personal something that happened yesterday. And so I'm a little out of sorts, and I apologize that I didn't have a chance to refresh myself with all my notes and the latest before coming live, but this should be entertaining, hopefully, nonetheless. But hey, Mal and Chronicles, and I know Tia, I think hopefully she's taking a shower or lying down and resting. And Will, and y'all, Will's birthday was yesterday, so if y'all see him, please tell him happy birthday. And Tomboy, and I saw Kelly P earlier. I know she's busy, but appreciate y'all. This might be like a quick team kind of meeting. Because we meant to go live the other night, but had to push it because things got a little hectic in real life. Sometimes just gets in the way. But just for the record, like literally, I think I texted Mal, and I texted Tia. I was like, I don't know what, 10 minutes ago, and I was like, shut the front door. There's even new news about the Menendez that I did not know about. Oh, yes. And actually, before we get into that, yes, Will had shared it in the Facebook group and online, but I believe the initials are DVS. And sorry, Will, it's nothing personal. I'm drawing a blank on names right this second, but he had shared a fellow creator and friend or someone that he is acquainted with. Child was missing the other day, but fortunately she has been found and is doing okay, and we're so grateful for that. Okay, good. I was about to say, Will was like, no, they didn't. I was about to be like, we're going to restart this whole entire live. So I'm so glad. But he's pretty good. Will's good at like hearing things and sharing information for everyone to share and hear about. So I'm really glad that turned out all right. And then Mal, was there something else that I was supposed to say? Probably not. But y'all, it was funny because literally I was just sitting here bringing up some things. So I would remember to put the links in the chat, hopefully. Hey, Punksy, or put them in the description when we're done. So I was sitting here just like bringing up the tabs for stuff to show, and there was something I was looking for really fast, and I just put like Menendez Parole to see what would pop up. And then I was like, well, this is new. So I have some other new news, I guess, to share. Just got a community post at 10 p.m. No details as of yet, other than found safe. That's good. Well, if there's anything, keep us posted. If there's anything that they need or anything that we need to share moving forward in regards to it, because we definitely will if necessary or needed. Okay, wow, y'all, this is going to be fun. So I did not know this. So obviously the whole point of the live tonight was to go through the Gascon's resentencing recommendation, the filing, the motion he submitted on, I think it was the 24th, or it stamped the 24th for 8:30 a.m. So we were going to go over to that and just point out a few things, because Tia and I had caught some interesting just highlights of stuff that, I don't know. I know that they contributed and did a lot, or they have been contributing and doing a lot while they have been incarcerated, but there's so many different highlights, and the filing includes some of their like recent scoring in terms of being rehabilitated, contributing member of community, you know, all that kind of stuff. There's like this whole score that they have, but they also outline, you know, not only some of their disciplinary actions, but also their achievements, education and stuff. And it's divided into two sections. I think actually, hold on, where did I write it down? Because I'm a nerd, so let me make sure I read it, since I took the time to write it down. But of course, oh, there's the page. I wrote down, or no, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. Y'all, that's a 57-page document that the resentencing recommendation, that filing that they submitted, I think it was 57 pages. But the discipline reports, like work history, contributions, education, community engagement, all that whole portion, it takes up like half of it. It's like PDF pages 20 to 52. So there was a lot for them to highlight, which makes sense since they're filing basically under I think it's the 1172 is one of the main codes they're filing under, which has to do with rehabilitation and contributions and growth as a contributing member of society, you know, being an imprisoned inmate and how the way they've conducted themselves. And I guess it would be kind of like the quote unquote credits or achievements and all that. They've grown, I guess, would be the way to look at it, which is a big part of this entire filing. My spreadsheet nerd. No, I don't even have, like, I didn't even open up the Menendez spreadsheet. I literally just grabbed the folder where I had notes and then was opening the tabs. I'm not quite on point like I probably should be, but I said, we'll go with the flow. And for like, 30 minutes real fast, we can go over some of this. But before we go over that filing, y'all, I wanted to show y'all what I read, because did anyone hear today that the DA is supporting the brothers' new effort to petition Governor Newsom for clemency, which would obviously reduce their sentence or grant a pardon? And I was like, wait, what? I read a little further. I think it said that Gascon had planned to submit a letter, quote unquote, to that effect by the end of the day, Wednesday. So that happened today. I don't know. I haven't done my research to understand how this came about, or the brothers and their team, what the purpose of that effort was, if they felt this was necessary, or if they were just like, let's go for it. Let's exhaust everything we've got available to us at this point. I sincerely don't know, because like I said, things have been a little crazy for us the last 12, 24 hours. So I apologize, but I really don't know anything about that, but I guess it doesn't surprise me. But I was going to show y'all what I saw, just so we have it. And then this is, not that we're playing anything, but the articles we'll put in the description, and I'll drop them in a second if I can. Let's see. Share a window. Who wants to bet if this is going to work? Oh, share a tab. Here we go. Sorry. Oh, screw it. Let's just share my screen. I said share. Hold on. Sorry. My computer is thinking. Hey, Ange. I really like the name Black Sheep Designs, by the way. I really like that. Okay, let's try this. Oh, that let me do it. Well, okay. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. So this is what I've seen. Copy it into this one because it's not letting me share both my windows, and I don't even want to mess with it. Let's see. That one and this one. Ha, ha, ha. Sorry, y'all. I didn't realize it was going to be this big of a pain in the butt. She has been fighting a really bad migraine and isn't feeling well, and so hopefully she is taking a shower and or resting. And they've got travel plans with family stuff, so she's under the weather and trying to manage all that. So that's where she is. And so we decided I would just do this and share it with y'all. So this is what when I put this in earlier, and I hate all these pop-ups, sorry, that LA County District Attorney George Gascon is supporting the Menendez brothers' new effort to petition California Governor Gavin Newsom for clemency, which would reduce their sentence or grant a pardon, ABC News has learned. He plans to submit a letter to that effect by the end of the day, Wednesday, so today. And then obviously the article talks about some of their stuff. And I agree, Will, that it was interesting because it was like, besides the clemency route, the brothers have two other possible tracks, which obviously is the resentencing, which has been filed. And I do believe it's going before the Superior Court. I think it's December 11th. I did just read that a date had been set. So that's that next step. So I guess in addition now to the clemency, they will also be pursuing the resentencing track. And then if that for some odd reason is denied by any party at some point along this process, they will still be pursuing their the habeas corpus or habeas petition that they filed of, I think it was September of 2023, July or September, something like that, with the new evidence pertaining to the abuse, the letter from Andy, their cousin, from Eric's cousin, or the one to Eric's cousin, sorry, sent from Eric to Andy about 8 months before the murders. That, and then what's his name from Menudo. So I guess now, though, they're pursuing all three options. Hey, Kaz. Sorry, y'all, I wasn't looking at the chat because, well, here, let me put my phone in front of me so I can see it. And then I was, then I opened up the NBC LA article, and it was saying the same things. And this is where I found out the hearing for before the Superior Court judge, who will decide whether or not to grant or deny the resentencing request. That hearing's been scheduled for December 11th. And then hold on, where was this? This was so interesting to me. Hold on. This is talking about Gascon filing the resentencing. And then it says also Wednesday, Gascon's office said Wednesday. Also Wednesday, Gascon's office said Wednesday. That's so redundant, Mr. Journalist. It would support the brothers' separate request for clemency, which their attorney said had been submitted to the office of the California Governor Gavin Newsom. I had no idea that that had been submitted. So this should be interesting. Let's see what they say. They have respectively served 34 years and have continued their education and worked to create new programs to support the rehabilitation of fellow inmates, said Gascon in a statement. Newsom's office declined to confirm such requests had been made and said clemency discussions were confidential. Pending clemency applications are confidential and were not able to discuss individual cases, his office said in a statement. Well, we shall see. But so the next thing is the hearing. It's December 11th, and the judge will first hear the defense lawyers for the brothers and will schedule a hearing to consider the request after that. And then it will go before a parole board, which I wanted to clarify because I was confused the other night. And it's very simple, and I've got some awesome links to send so you all can do your research like we do. Someone else, please read the parole board of corrections, all this stuff. I've looked through the freaking whole entire handbook and every freaking website possible. So everyone else, please go read it so to understand the process and what happens and the difference between life without parole and someone who's been sentenced to life with parole. But basically what would happen next, actually, once the judge decides, the Superior Court judge, once it goes before that judge, and then he in turn decides whether to grant or deny. If he grants it, then that ultimately goes to the parole board and it will be in their hands. There are some minor little stipulations where potentially I think the brothers could kind of jump in line to have a faster parole hearing date if the judge grants, but that's a little bit to be determined. But basically, I think they've got like 30 to 60 days now for this hearing. And then I think once you've got it after that, like 120 days or so for the parole board committee to schedule a hearing. And then it could take up to a couple months, potentially. But I think, in my opinion, the way it's being presented, I guess, right now, in the media and the general atmosphere surrounding the Menendez and their pursuit of early release or a big change in their case. Like, I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe it may happen sooner than we could think. I mean, it would still go through the process, but maybe somehow or some way it'd be slightly expedited. I'm so interested in now more about hearing about the clemency thing. So I don't even know what the judge is going to think. The governor. I just think that's so interesting. I sent it to Mallory, and she was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then, of course, Tia was like, "Okay, you're about probably a little bit late." She had gotten the alert a little while ago, but like I said, we've both been so busy that we didn't really dive into it. So this is our quote unquote breaking news. Seems to me the road has paved to release. Yes, I mean that's the feeling I get, just based on the general atmosphere surrounding it. But Lady Justice can be fickle, and it is certainly timely. So we shall see. Let's see what else it was saying. Will resentencing be granted? Okay, we already talked about the numbers. I'm not going to go over all that again. In the case of the Menendez brothers, a judge would decide whether the Menendez brothers' post-conviction conduct in prison, meaning good behavior and rehabilitation efforts, have met legal standards for resentencing. And that's what I said. If y'all haven't read the lovely filing, oh shoot, it's not popping up, so y'all can't see it. I'll show it to you in a second. But if y'all haven't read that, that is certainly what this the bulk of the document and the filing surrounds is their behavior, not so much the new evidence or anything, which would make or potential new evidence related to their abuse and the evidence permitted at trial. I think it touches on it a bit, but it makes sense also that it doesn't, because that's obviously going to be the focus of the habeas petition that was submitted back in 2023. So that doesn't really surprise me. But says defendants have demonstrated they are no longer present. They no longer present a public safety risk, such that their current sentence is no longer in furtherance of justice, prosecutors wrote. Sorry, I should really have my glasses on. I sound so smart. That, once again, you're adorable. Well, this article is just asking all the questions I thought I just touched on. Okay, y'all, when could they be released? Well, shocking, the timeline is a bit unclear, as the court has yet to hold its first hearing on the resentencing request. But assuming the judge approves the proposed sentences, Eric and Lyle Menendez would be eligible for an immediate parole hearing, where many factors raised in the resentencing motion would be considered. The hearing process typically takes several months to complete. That's where the 30 to 60 days I said right now, getting this before the judge. Then after that, I think if it's sent to the parole board, I think it's up to 120 days. But I don't know if that 120 will be a full 120 days for Lau and Eric, if permitted. But I guess we shall find out. And then, okay, and then what if they are released? Well, Garrigo said there's already a plan in place for the brothers' reentry into society, although he declined to reveal details for security reasons. Oh, I feel like that was not the best word to use, Garrigos, because that just brought me back to like the boys hiring like the secret security or security with them after the murders. I just think that was a poor play of words, but I'm just being nitpicky. The reentry plan was previewed by the DA's office, according to Garrigos. They're both married. Both the brothers are married to spouses who make a living, said Garrigos, who added Lau is in a master's degree program, while Eric is in the process of getting his undergraduate degree. But for real, y'all, son of a biscuit, right here. This was what I saw. And I would try to play it. I haven't even listened to it, but Lord knows I don't want to risk it, given how horrible our our sharing of stuff has been, especially when it comes to the audio. But that was the article I landed on about 35, 40 minutes ago. So if y'all didn't know that, that's some breaking kind of news. Stop sharing for a second. Yes, you're funny. I love a good team meeting. Now, I wish my computer would not be so finicky and just let me show y'all this PDF. Hey, Aussie. President Bush, smart snurd. Mush. Oh my gosh. I was watching, was it yesterday or the day before, y'all? I was watching Seinfeld bloopers, and oh my gosh, I can crack myself up, especially when it gets late at night and I'm watching them. And it was one where like Jerry opens the door and he says something, and then Newman just goes like nerds or something like that, and literally like the entire set broke down laughing, and I felt myself like doing that silent chuckle where like you're going like your body's moving and you're shaking but you're not making a sound. And I was so excited because I was doing that, and I was like, oh my God, I'm the only one in the room right now. What? Oh, hey, Halloween Wolfie. I didn't know we had a new name. I love it. I know. She's really soaking up, changing for the dressing up for the Halloween holiday. Okay, let me see if I can share this with y'all real quick, and then we can get out of here, and hopefully when Tia's feeling better and then back in town. Oh, see, I thought sometimes we like to change emojis. Wink, wink, ha ha. Not even a real joke that had any real meaning, people. I may change my avatar on Friday. Hey, Siri. Oh my gosh, oh, she just opened up. Never mind. I'll tell you later, Siri. I was going to remind you, set a reminder, Mallory. Okay. So, like I said, I'll show y'all this, some of the things I noticed in the filing, and then hopefully when Tia's feeling better, we can do it in more detail. She can help me clarify some of the mumbo jumbo I've been trying to share tonight. Okay, okay. Boop, boop, boop. What was I looking up? I got it. Sorry, y'all. I had the PDF open, but it's being a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to open it. Excuse me, a pain in the backside. And I'm just going to open it. And here it is, Menendez resentencing. Oh, now, of course, my highlights are going to be gone. Well, this is, I know, for real, like son of a nutcracker. Why does it do this? And y'all have no idea how many times I'm catching myself and going, hold on. Put a star on my chart every time. Okay, watch. Let's see if this works. Present. Share screen. Hold on. Did it work? Does it show what? Hashtag success. Eat my shorts. StreamYard, I figured you out. Oh, shoot a monkey. Now, hold on. Now I got to make it so it's the whole thing so we can all see it. Okay, does that why is my phone on like there? Boom. Okay, just making sure. No, where'd the damn thing go? Okay, got it. So I'll put the link in the chat actually. Haha, I can do it right now because I did bring it up if y'all want to follow it along. Here is the filing. I'm putting it right now in the chat so I don't forget because sometimes I do that. But if anyone wants to see it themselves, if you haven't already, it's only 57 pages. And I know it's a legal filing, but it is kind of interesting. Thank you, Kez. Some of them, I make them up typically as I go. Or there, it's like I catch myself playing on just classic, like Pinterest little posts that have an amazing quote, but I tweak it and put it in my own words. Okay, so this is where it kind of starts off. It does give a quick summary of everything as well, but this basically, it is a little dull to kind of read through because it explains the penal codes and, you know, each law section, penal code, anything above. It explains like the legislative process of it and all the above, which is helpful, but I don't love reading it 900 times. But the point that I noticed was that it basically all felt the focus of it surrounds the 1172 section. And that is what really focuses on their behavior and their conduct and rehabilitation while incarcerated. Oh, thank you. I'm not kidding. I don't know why I'm so at ease tonight, and I apologize for anyone rewatching this. Actually, I should probably apologize to Tia because I am literally, y'all, the best I can do right now is go with the flow. And so that's just basically what I'm doing. So I appreciate y'all being patient because Lord knows I'm not great on panels at all by myself. And I don't think I ever really do it. I don't even love going up when it's like a lot of us. I Pollyanna out, probably. But okay, is this called up? I don't have an issue with them being set free. I'm so glad you're wearing pants now. That's amazing. Will you send that memo to other people? Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? We're gonna make snow angels. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started. This is why I should never look at chat. Okay, so I wish I would have written this down, y'all. Oh wait, or if I got out the right piece of paper that has it on it. It's on the back side of the page. Where did it go? Mother of pearl. It was just right here. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay. So laws and codes mentioned are Penal Code, Section 1172.1, Assembly Bill 2942, Penal Code 3051. Great. We are all caught up. I didn't say I was wearing them now. Oh. Well, you should have specified. You know I'm up here solo and trying to multitask. I'm like a squirrel in traffic right now. So it gives the procedural summary of the case and how they were charged and whatnot. And the biggest thing too about their resentencing is because and why parts of this document are the way they are in referencing certain penal codes and statutes that at the time they were charged with is at this point because they were younger than 26 at the time of the crime, they would be eligible to have their sentence changed from life without parole to essentially being sentenced to 50 years for life for the murders. So they would have, that's how this falls. So a lot of this it focuses on kind of like the youth aspect, because technically under the law and the rulings, that's what they would fall under, because they were under 26 years of age at the time they committed this crime. Tell them you are wearing your smarty pants. I always wear mine. It doesn't mean they always work, but I'll wear them. There was something else. Hold on. I'm sure there's so much of this that it's so much better to go with when I need Tia here. But basically, so we all know how this went after the second trial. They met their fate, and on July 2nd, 1996, the trial court imposed consecutive terms of life without parole, life on the 2 murder convictions, and stayed the conspiracy to murder sentence pursuant to Penal Code 654. So they had to go prison without the possibility of parole. And then it obviously gives the statement of facts. And it's so interesting because there are certain details. There were a few things I read through this with like Tia, and we were going, oh, like, did we hear this or something? Because it seems like there are a lot of stories, like even the neighbors who heard what that the mom thought was like the firecrackers, and the younger son wasn't so sure and kind of urged his mom to call, but they didn't because they figured, it stopped. They're in a safe place. Everything, like, it's Beverly Hills, we're fine. But it's interesting because some of them is like, because the daughter was waiting for like the girlfriend or her boyfriend to come pick them up, or the girlfriend to return home, or the daughter to return home from a date. But they're all so similar, but I've noticed each filing kind of has a slightly different take on it, and it just kind of makes me giggle every time. I mean, I understand that they're all saying the same thing at the end of the day. But it goes through all this, and then Tia, oh shoot, she's not in here. I was like, what was that thing I saw? Tia loves it when we start looking at things at the same time, and I'll like skip ahead. And I'll be like, oh, did you see this? And she was like, I read in order. I am not there yet. But there was something I spoiled, and I can't remember what it was. It was something that Lau had done. And I was like, no, he didn't. No, I won't look for it right now. We'll have to tell y'all about that later. Okay. Basically, everyone has to go to page 8 of the PDF, and I need y'all all to start looking through the history and the judicial discretion granted under the Penal Code section 1172.1. Well, brains finished filling something else, but it's still debated. I think they do a little bit. But it goes through all this, y'all, and it's just, my mind's not into it right this second, but it is pretty interesting. But let me just get to the good part, because I don't want to hit my wall and this go downhill even quicker. Okay, so I did write down, took a few screenshots. But this explains too, like, factors to support resentencing. It's hard to believe they're now 54 and 56 years old. And the Menendez pose a low risk of committing a new violent felony while serving a 50 to life sentence. Gosh. Age at the time of the defense, age at the time of the crime. Y'all, it really is interesting. I just am off my game tonight and just really can't bring myself to go through all of this. but we will. Okay, thank gracious. I knew I highlighted stuff. I told y'all. Let me see. Wait for it to catch up. Okay, there it is on mine, where it's in green. So this was the most interesting thing to me, at least to me, was just more the details of just their history and their life since being sentenced. I think Jose had so many plans. I think he had a vision that he was just trying to literally fulfill in his reality. And I don't know how much of it would have panned out the way he foresaw it, but he's an interesting character, to say the least. I think some of his, obviously, his actions are deplorable and inexcusable, but he's also just, I don't know, I don't like him, but I won't speak but so ill of the dead. I think he lived in his own mind a lot of the time and ruled with his own form of an iron fist in every aspect of his life. But anyway. Okay, so now y'all, okay, so cool, we're watching baseball. Oh, good. So this is very low key. Okay, well, I'm good. So one of the things I thought was interesting was that Eric, all right, we've got, I love that they spelled Eric wrong. It's with a K. I spelled it wrong here. See, this is like my editing stuff. No, I don't want to highlight it, but that drives me nuts. Okay. Eric Menendez's overall disciplinary record while incarcerated is reflective of his positive trajectory throughout his period of incarceration. He has received 8 violations in over 30 years of incarceration. And it's so like it. I don't find any of it. If God watch me say it, and then we start reading it, and we're like, "Holy mother, wow!" I don't think there was anything very egregious. Like here we had in September of 2021 a possession of a cell phone. That was happened. It just happened to be in a cell that he shared with 5 other men. So he's not sure there. What? Oh, okay. So this one in 2018, Eric was laying on inmate Segura's bed in inmate Segura's cell, a cell that he does not share with Eric Menendez, while talking with a few other inmates. There was a cell search while the men were in the cell, whereupon a cell phone hidden under inmate Segura's mattress. They found a cell phone under the guy's mattress that he just happened to be in their cell talking to him, and he was sitting on that mattress, and he got in trouble for that. Let's see. This one, I'm not sure what the 2000. This one, I will say, excessive physical contact with female visitor. I don't know if that meant, just a hug too long or something like that. I can't imagine, but a female visitor, and all visits are monitored and stuff, so they would have to expand on that. I thought this was interesting too, that unauthorized possession of controlled medication. He pretended to take his Wellbutrin. The guard asked to see the cup Eric had put to his mouth, and the pill was still in the cup. But it's not like he's trying to, sneak a controlled substance or a controlled medication that's not given to him. He was penalized because I guess he did not want to take it. Hey, Tiff. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Oh, sorry. And oh gosh, let me look back at Will Beast. Yes, I think so. Do you think they'll be released soon? I think so. Like, I guess so. My guess is kind of yes. I don't know if you had seen. I didn't see it until less than an hour ago. because of things going on, that they are also seeking the route of clemency through the governor, and that the DA planned to submit his letter supporting that by the end of the day today. So I don't know if you saw that, but I I thought I was looking up something real fast about resentencing, and then I was like, are we for real? Wait a minute. Now there's a clemency, and it was just posted. Do you think, hold on, do you think when they get out, they will act like celebrities like Gypsy? I don't think so. Regardless of what the Netflix monsters want to portray in their adaptation of it, I don't think that's what I don't think they're planning some big career like that to become even more notable than they already are. But that's just my opinion. I think they'll do well. I think they'll do good as well, but I just I don't see them, but who knows? I can proven wrong all the time. But I think I'm sure there will be things they do along the way that people might interpret. I mean, if this all falls into place and they are released, I'm sure there's certain things that they may do that some people will find to be, I don't know, potentially, I'm trying to think the right word, that people may view as like trying to seek attention or, gain notoriety or something like that. And my guess is there'll be times like that, but it'll be because they are willing to partake or do something in the public or speak or something. I I don't see them coming out though and capitalizing, literally not financially, but like trying to capitalize on just their name and literally their name and who they are just for the attention and notoriety. Because I think they have that. I don't think they want more of it. I don't know, but I'm sure there are differing opinions on that. Has it been said where they would live? No, Garagos said that like they have some plans, they may have some proposals or looked into a few things in terms of, safe, no flea kind of like, something that's within, if they have to be, however the parole will work in terms of check-ins or just, those procedural matters of what they'll have to do for what they may or may not have to do for X number of years if released. I think that'll play into it, but I think my guess is from what I've gathered based on what I've read is attorneys and whatnot have kind of looked into a, a solid structure that they could present to the board or to the court if and when that time comes that would illustrate that their life would still be very structured and they would still do well and be able to flourish and yada, yada, yada. That would be my guess. Well, there wouldn't be a parole if they're pardoned. No. And then I guess it's just Garagos and them trying to figure out, all right, do we need to get a plane ticket? What do we need to do? And I mean, they don't have a lot of money available to them. I mean, they're not exactly liquid. So the expenses that people will be able to use for them, I don't know how far those will go and who exactly will be contributing to the finances that are assisting them. I'm assuming, obviously, family, and they'll have something available to them, but I don't think their options are. They have amazing options for considering where they are right now, but then after that, if we were looking at it, people who are not in their situation, the options would seem pretty small. Like this isn't all that great, but I think for them, they're going to have a handful of options that hopefully they'll be able to pursue. Because I know their family is still kind of spread out too. I don't want it. I personally, if they would allow me, if it's permitted, especially if pardon or something, I don't know if I would even want to stay in California. Could they still? I don't know. Look at Mal putting me on the spot. Okay. If they get a clemency pardon, could they sue the state for wrongful imprisonment? Well, Mal, remember when I texted you like a few minutes before this and I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. I've read part of that. It is in part of the handbook, by the way, the parole board handbook, which is well over 57 pages, just FYI. But I can't remember everything it said. And I know T and I were kind of like, we were thinking about that the other day. We talked about it on the phone and we said something about it and we were like, oh, we should look into it. And then Idle Tuesday went to not so much idle and we didn't get the chance. A pardon, like, yeah, exactly. Google it real fast while you're sitting there. Please. Okay, it's a tie game. It really is. I mean, I could look it up too, but hold on. Let me just see. Oh my gosh, I'm looking it up like it's in this PDF. Y'all, we are totally coming back to this next week when Tia is feeling better and hopefully things have calmed down for both of us because I am not good at this tonight. It's 6, 7 in the 8th. And they're 9 innings, right? I'm doing more than just sitting. Okay. Wonder we'll ever visit their graves of parents. We're going to live a whole different world when you come out. Honest. Come out. I think it's, Marion, I think it's going to be, I kind of wondered that too. And actually, that's really interesting that you said that because there were some things that I could only imagine and I couldn't word it correctly. And I probably won't word it correctly again now. But like, I couldn't imagine it's like coming out of that environment and re-entering society and literally like everyday life and just like walking into like your aunt or uncle's house and it's decorated family photos, just everyday living for them, but to come in and then to like just enter that world again and to see, I don't know, like say there's a framed picture of Kitty or something like on the secretary, just little things like that. And just that moment of where I just think it will be very surreal. But I do think it's going to be a very, not a very long, but a long process for them to kind of acclimate again. And I hopefully acclimate in a way where they're able to maintain the growth and the stability that, that they've achieved literally, mentally, emotionally, all that, everything that they've dealt with, as long as they're able to maintain that and do well, my hope is they'll, for lack of a better word, flourish. But I'm like you, I doubt it's going to be there. I think there are going to be moments that are just not only surreal and bittersweet, but some that are really hard. But I think once they get past it, they'll be fine. I mean, they get to like heck, they understand what Facebook is. Lyle's, I mean, his wife or his ex, one of them, I can't remember who was the first wife or the second wife that runs his Facebook page, but like they understand the engagement of social media. They get the like phones, they have tablets, so I don't think it's not going to be like some like the old guy in like the librarian from Shawshank, that kind of thing. I think they've had the privilege to experience some of the advances and perks of the things that we enjoy on a limited scale, though. behind bars. So hopefully it won't be quite as shocking. And then, okay, Mallory just sent me something, and she said, thank you for sending me the AI overview. Generally, if someone's sentence is pardoned, they cannot sue the state for damage related to their conviction because the pardon does not erase the fact that the crime was committed. And it usually does not provide grounds for compensation for wrongful conviction. However, they may be able to sue the state if they can prove malicious prosecution or other misconduct by the state that led to their wrongful conviction, even if they receive a pardon. See, I don't think, my whole thing is I don't think they got, it's not a wrong conviction, I don't think they were wrongly convicted. I think they were over sentenced for the charges that, I think they were over sentenced, and I think that sentencing and options available to them at the end of the second trial really put them in a rock and a hard place, between a rock and a hard place. But there's no doubt that they committed the crime. So I mean, I think in some way, I mean, they will forever be convicted of that. And so it's not changing. I agree. It doesn't change the crime or the fact that it happened. Thank you, guys. But I do wonder, though, if there are aspects, but I also wonder if they would even want to pursue it. When it says the aspects of wrongful conviction, they typically don't provide grounds for compensation for wrongful conviction. However, they may be able to sue the state if they can prove malicious prosecution or other misconduct by the state that led to their wrongful conviction. See, I don't know. I think that would be hard for them, but I do wonder if there's certain misconduct in terms of the way the abuse was treated or the evidence that was permitted at the time. But I don't know if all that actually, whatever the state presented, is what led to a wrongful conviction, because well, at first they pled obviously not guilty, but then they came clean and they admitted what they did and they acknowledged what they've done. So there's no denying. It doesn't clear them of the crime itself. I think it actually kind of goes back to, and I wrote it down the other night because I thought this was actually interesting, that Gascon said back in early October that there's no question that they committed the killing. The question is, to what degree of culpability should they be held accountable to, given the totality of the circumstances? So I doubt they would, but that is really interesting to think about, though. But you know what I mean? Like, do you see what I was thinking about that? I don't know if that right was about prosecutorial misconduct kind of deal, but I don't think it's quite the same here. I think there are elements of it that are similar, but I don't think they would necessarily apply. But I am no attorney, and I sincerely haven't looked into all the elements and matters surrounding clemency and what an official pardon would entail for them. Specifically for them, but under California law, I just haven't looked into that because and other than Tia and I kind of referencing it the other day on the phone one afternoon while we may have even both been out running errands. I can't even remember, but we were talking about it, but we just kind of like put that on the back burner and didn't really dive into it. Get it together. I know. I already closed the book. I just said we're going to have to do this again a little later. But I will post all these links. And I swear to gracious, Tia and I really do have some great actually outlines are some outlines that we found on like a couple sites or good California law offices that had pretty good explanations of the process and whatnot. But we also have the actual filing, which is on one of our community posts too. I think that was from the other day. I think there's some screenshots from the motion itself on that community post, and I believe the link to the PDF is in there. But I'll include the other resources if anyone's interested, because they're super. If you like to dive in to kind of technical and nerdy things, sometimes they're kind of entertaining. I don't know. Sometimes I'm torn between reading. I can sit down and read a Vanity Fair like y'all wouldn't believe. So it's like, do you want to read, like, if you can read a Vanity Fair article, you can read these documents. And some of it's kind of interesting. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. I do apologize. So I really am not on my game. I just really hope Tia's feeling better. I'll message her in a few minutes. But thank y'all for bearing with me. I was going to reschedule or just cancel it when we realized that things weren't going too well or too smoothly for either one of us tonight. But she was right. We had canceled before, and we did just want to touch base too, and especially since just not only is she sick, but she's supposed to be going out of town. So I just said, okay, I'll just do it. We're not going to overthink this. I'll just do it. So this is what we get. Hey, Risk. Happy Halloween Eve to y'all. Are y'all doing anything fun for Halloween? Anyone? Is anyone handing out candy? See, I don't love Halloween like everyone does. I do love to dress up and stuff, but ironically, I don't do scary very well. Very, very well. Like, if you put a scream mask on and like come near me, I'm either going to cry or punch you in the face. Like, I don't like it. Or if you just are standing outside my door wearing that, I'm going to lose my crap. Even if you were like coming, even if I had to give you candy, I'd be like, take your toddler in that scream mask. And no. And if you come like a clown, you'll never see me. I'll be under, I mean, it'd be like a cartoon with like smoke flying with how fast I run. I am terrified of them. It's not a joke. It is so legit. Like, even the Joker on like the Superman, like cartoon, like the books, I don't, I'm freaking myself out. I can't stand them. I can't stand them, y'all. Painted faces, it's something about it. Certain ones just put me over the edge. I can't do it. Like when I was younger, I think I got put in timeout one time right before we went trick-or-treating. I think I was probably like first or like kindergarten, kind of like first grade-ish. No, maybe second grade, probably second grade. That kind of age. Like I went, y'all in the 80s, like this is the punk rocker. And remember like the glitter stuff, like the makeup. I remember I was crying in this in this one chair, and the glitter like stayed on the navy fabric of the chair. It was fine. I got to go out afterwards. But I was either like a punk rocker, a fairy. I cannot even tell y'all how many times I was like Sandy from Grease or the 50s girl. What else was I? Tennis player. I was a ballerina one year, I think, because I saw pictures. I don't know. See, I didn't do scary. When you had your face paint. But no, see, that's different. Like that little paint. And actually, I think that was around I think that was for like a Christmas or between like Thanksgiving and Christmas, some little thing that we did at school. That one. But no, that's a different kind of face painting. I mean, like clown face and no. I'm not scared if someone like puts a dot on their nose and whiskers on their cheeks. I'm not like a total pansy. The waitress is a teenager. I didn't need a costume. That's true. It scared me. Well, maybe don't make it your background. Every time I call, I'd hate to frighten you. I have some actually funny pictures from Halloween. I just don't love it. Like, I don't like all the scary movies. There's a part of Hocus Pocus that still kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies to this day. I don't like it when they're like searching, when they're flying around at night and the kids are like running from them, like towards the middle-ish end of the movie. I don't like that. I'm glad it's not the big thing in Australia. Some people around here love it. However, I may go trick-or-treating with some friends tomorrow night. I'm not sure. Or at least walk with them, but then I'm going to want some candy. I do like handing out the candy, though. I think that's fun. But we don't get many around here, so I don't even have any candy here. What did I see? Someone said, oh, I saw it the other day. I was like, given like today's financial climate, it was like, I'm putting a vending machine. Oh yeah, I said this the other night, the vending machine thing. And I was like, that's brilliant. I'm putting a vending machine in my front yard. Like, heck, you can pay for your own candy. I'll put it out here. I love all things pumpkin. Oh, I do too. I could tell the pumpkin loaf bread from Starbucks. I love a pumpkin spice latte. And ironically, I like pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin spice cheesecake or something. I used to like doing the pumpkin seeds, like when we would bake those afterwards. And then I think I would just kind of like suck the salt off of them. We tell our kids not to take candy from strangers, just saying. I don't ever like, I think I remember coming home and like, when parents like you check the candy kind of deal, but like, if I have to be honest, I can remember our parents kind of like dumping it on the floor, like my dad sitting with me and stuff. But I don't ever really remember any really true inspection going on. I do remember it sometimes going, like my dad would be like, he's like, oh, let me taste this one. Oh, you don't like this one. And he would eat it. And then I was like, what the hell did you just do? No, I don't. I started thinking about that. My parents certainly weren't looking for like anything stuck too far in mine. It had to be probably like literally like a nail hanging out of it. And they'd be like, this probably isn't safe. And then take it away from me. But hopefully y'all are all doing something fun. I think there's some Halloween things going on around YouTube not only is it scary kind of every day out there right now, but legit like Halloween things, I think between now and Friday. So I'm sure there'll be some fun stuff to watch. But other than that, I don't really know. Wait, I had a Halloween birthday party one year, and my grandma was a witch besides the black. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, we had in our neighborhood, we had someone, she was the witch. And y'all, it was a production every year. And when I say like it, she lived like their house was like kind of up on this, like it had the creek, because we would go play at the creek, like run down the street and go play at the creek. It was literally the end of my street. Like I think we were 2 up from the stop sign, and then across the street through like the little wooded area. And there was a creek because we used to go play in the creek when we were little, like, and we'd find mica and all that kind of stuff. But then up on the hill, it was our neighbors, and I'm not going to give their names away, but their mom, y'all, she would do this thing, and she was the witch. And by the way, they gave out like king size candy bars, and then there was another family. I don't know what their names were. some arc something. I forgot what it was, but they had a big coffin thing too, and she kind of scared me. But they also had king size bars, but they didn't have as much animation. The Venters, oh no, they had these ventilator things. Like they would, it was like a raspy, like the ventilator. It sounded like ventilators, like these. It was the creepiest sound that you would hear coming from this hill. It sounded like ventilators, like all this air, and then it would be playing a recording of a cackle that would literally echo through the neighborhood. And even though I knew who they were, like and they had the longest drive, like y'all, it was so funny. And I was so polite. My dad was holding me one year, and the makeup and their stuff, once again, Mal, total painted faces, like that I don't like, that kind of thing. Like the nose done. Oh, the lighting, they had all the effects going, and she came up and she had oh my gosh, she just so frightening, but she was so nice. And I knew technically, like in my brain, I knew like, oh, this is so and so. But like I knew that, but in that moment, I'm going, this is frightening. Like I just was like, oh my God, how do I handle this? And so my dad was holding me, and I guess she brought me my candy or something. And she had commented on my costume, and I was saying, yes, ma'am, or all this stuff. And then I remember she said something like, oh, what a precious, I think she used the word precious something. And granted, I'm like probably first grade. And then I remember she said, maybe you would like to like spend the night. And I remember going, no, thank you. Just like telling my dad, like, we have to go. This is now not safe. Like I'm being asked, but I was torn between crying yet using my polite manners because it's an adult who's like our good friends' parents kind of deal, like kids that I went to school with, like who were older than me. It was actually like that person's mom, but at the moment and on Halloween, it's not. It's like y'all, I've been scarred, so it was just, I don't want to do it again. I mean, I love it now. Like I'm looking back on it, I can hear it right now. But it was so funny. But I was going, yes, ma'am, thank you, or something. And this sometime we spending the night, and I was like, no, thank you. I probably said, but thank you for asking, knowing me. But then I was like, mm-mm. So I just, well, I might go trick or treating with my friends and their kids, walk them around because their neighborhood, they make it fun, like with all the golf carts and stuff. And then I think there's like a beer stop for the dads. It's funny. So we may go do that, but I won't be going knocking on anybody's doors or doing anything too creepy. But I hope y'all have a good one. Is there anything else, Mal, Will, anything else y'all can think of? Because I think they're watching, y'all are all probably watching baseball. But Tia and I will come back as soon as she's feeling better, and gets through maybe her weekend, and hopefully we'll be able to get together in the next couple of days, though, and hopefully be able to do a much more well-organized live with some of the details that I just totally skimmed over, I'm sure, tonight. Or maybe we'll come back and do a fun one or something, but I really appreciate all y'all coming by, riding around and getting candy. Yep. Oh wait, anyone ever get mugged of their candy when they were little? Because that happened. Don't take anyone's candy. Don't run by them and swipe their candy bag. That's just not cool. But other than that, and then I know Delena's not here, and nor is Tia, but do as they always say, please go show some love and support to your other fellow creators and channels you enjoy. Give them a thumbs up, a high, all the good stuff, and just enjoy y'all's night. And we will for sure recap this I don't necessarily disagree. Risk, sometimes it is to me as well. I don't know how some of these people do it, but y'all go enjoy your night. Thank y'all, and if anything, we'll follow up too with like a community post with some of this information. But y'all have a good one and stay safe, and we'll see y'all soon.